Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Devin with Freckled Mom. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, hey, make sure you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Also, when you subscribe to my channel, you can see when I upload a new video. Today, I have 3 projects for around the house. Let's get started. This first project is probably one of my favorites. I love this. I have dogs and cats, and we are a big rescue family, and I just love this craft so much. And this is great for a gift too, just saying. So these are just some coasters I got from the dollar store, so you know it, it's $1. So I'm taping off the bottom because I'm going to repaint the top just so I have a solid color to work with before I start stenciling. It's a little hard to see what I'm doing here, but I've seen this on so many craft channels, and I'd love to shout out to all of you, but so many of you do this that it's definitely something that has saved me time, is sanding down the edges away from you of either fabric or tape or paper, whatever you're working on, and it just makes a nice clean edge, and it works perfect every time. I wasn't sure what paint I wanted to use on these coasters. They are clay or ceramic. I'm not really sure. They're just a dollar store coasters. So acrylic paint would work, but here I'm just using some regular paint that I have for walls. And it's the Walmart paint that I get pre-mixed. It's antique white. I get it right off the shelf. And I use this on a lot of my furniture, so it's nice just to try to keep things uniform and obviously cost efficient when you're using, a big gallon like that. But I think this paint worked out perfectly. It covered pretty well. I did about 3 coats of this, and I think it covered well. It didn't chip off or anything. So it's a nice, porous surface that you can paint with on. After I did 3 coats of paint, I decided to print out some stencils with my cameo, and I did LVE for love, and then I did a paw print for the O, only because I have, fur animals and I love them so much, and I thought it would be adorable, and it was. I did 2 coats over the stencils, and I used the apple barrel chocolate sprinkle, and once they were dry, I peeled up the paper and just went through with my little Cricut tool there just to clean up the edges a little bit. There was a little bit of bleed through, not a lot, and I still think it came out so cute even with the little bit that came out. I think these coasters would be adorable with like an animal, like an actual silhouette of a cow or a chick or whatever, if that's something that you have up in your decor already. But these are definitely adorable for your house, or, to give as a gift for somebody who loves their animals or maybe rescues a lot, or an animal shelter. So there's so many things you could do with this to change it up to make it more your style. After I was done and the stencil was dry, I used a matte Mod Podge to seal it, so that way it's waterproof for the glasses that you're going to put on it. It's not just for decoration, it's functional. And I think these came out so adorable. I love them so much. And like I said, this is just for my own house. But if you were going to make this for your house, do whatever works for you. This is my next project. How adorable was that? This is hanging up in my bathroom. All it is just a canvas. You can get these at the dollar store. I got this one at Michael's when I ordered a whole bunch of them for Black Friday. They ended up being like $1 each, or less than $1. So it was a great deal, and I'm happy I got them all. And I'm just cutting off the canvas on it because I'm going to use it again as the backing. So I didn't want to just rip it off willy-nilly. So I went gingerly around to get it all off. And I think it came out pretty easy. Here I'm just cleaning up the edges for the canvas so nothing hangs over, because I'm going to do a reverse canvas. I'm sure you guys have seen that before. It's just where you put the canvas on the other side so that way it looks like a framed picture. And I think it just looks so cute like that and has a definite rustic feel to it. Now this is just me measuring up some brown craft paper. I really like this paper. It's durable. You can use Mod Podge on it. You can stencil it. So here I'm just measuring it out so it fits into the frame, and this is where I'm going to be putting the words. If you're returning, you guys know I love to measure. I measure triple, I don't even know, maybe 6 times. I have a thing about measuring and making sure everything is perfect. I have a little bit of OCD, but that's not too bad. So just trying to make it perfect so that way it lines up and there's no overhang when you see it hanging up. Here I'm just Mod Podging the edges. I didn't do the entire paper because I wanted it to almost kind of like look wavy or look antique-y, so I just did the edges, and you'll see how it came out. But it came out really great, and this is just the style I went for. But normally when I'm putting these papers down, I do the entire paper. But like I said, I wanted to have a little bit of a crinkled, maybe wavy effect. Here's the wooden insert that was in the canvas that I took out, and I painted it with an apple barrel timeless gray. And I only did one coat on it because I wanted it to, have like not a distressed look, but, a little bit of a worn look. So this is something I printed off of my Cricut. Normally, I like to design my own pictures just so I have something that I made and it's not like a, what everybody else has. But this was just so cute. I found it in the store and I thought it was adorable. And they had a really good sale. They had 50% off. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to use it. And I loved it. I loved how adorable it is. It goes definitely with the theme I was looking for. I wanted that rustic and like country store kind of look, and I thought it came out just perfect. And I can tell you though, this was not an easy job because it had a lot of cutouts and I was gonna stencil it, so trying to figure out what I needed to weed out and what was staying was kind of difficult, and I wasn't sure exactly how I was gonna do it. And it came out so cute, and it just kind of was a little bit of taking the pieces that didn't pull up and having to put them back down and remembering what everything was. So I had to keep looking at my phone to see what it looked like. But I think it came out so adorable. Doesn't that just scream general store? Oh, I love it so much. I'm just pushing down the transfer paper just so I can get a really good hold on it and trying to pick out which color I want for the letters. I wasn't sure what I wanted, but I ended up finding it. laid the stencil where I wanted it, and now I'm just removing all the transfer paper, which was a little difficult. I had to use some muscles on this, but that's okay. I got it. Everything turned out just fine. So here I'm just painting over the stencil, and again I used Apple Barrel Chocolate Sprinkle. I'll put it down in the description. And I did 2 coats of this. I did use my heat gun to help me a little bit, just so it didn't rip on the craft paper. I could feel it pulling a little bit. I did rip it in one spot, but when I Mod Podged it after, you couldn't even tell. But the heat gun definitely saved me. I've heard people use blow dryers and hair dryers, and I'm sure that works just fine. The heat gun was something I got off of Amazon. I saw, one of the other crafters using it, and I loved it, and I went down to her description, and I went right onto her store, and boom, bought it. I loved it, and ever since then, I've used it for every project. So it's definitely $18, I think. It's definitely money well spent to help, speed up your project a little bit and help when it comes to pulling up stencils when you're on paper. So I just Mod Podged the entire project. Like I said, one little piece of paper ripped, and this helped it hold down. And then also, because I wanted it in my bathroom, I wanted it to have a wipeable surface. So, you can't soak it, but if it's dusty or, something gets on it, you can wipe it down. So I definitely wanted to Mod Podge it and just protect it. And as you can see here, it has a shiny effect to it, and I got that little wavy effect I was looking for. I wasn't really hoping it to be, wrinkly, but I wanted it to look wavy, and I think it just looks adorable. And I love the gray that I used. It was my first time using that color, and I think it just worked out so perfect, and it matched the brown that I picked for the stencil, so I love that. And I'm just cleaning up the edges so I don't have any overhang. Like I said, a little bit of OCD, just a little bit. And I stapled it in for more security. I started on one side, did the other side, and then made sure everything was straight, and then I went back and added more security to it. And this is just a sawtooth hanger. I'm just adding this to the top of it so I can hang it up in my bathroom. I like this for lightweight crafts. I think it's nice, just a little nail. You don't have to use a huge nail in your wall for something like this. It's very light. And that's it. How adorable is that? I love it so much. It's so cute. I'm making more. I have to. I just think it's so cute. And everybody who's come to my house wants one. So that's great. And this is my last project. And took a little bit of work, but it was worth it. So I had made a Santa's workshop in my craft room because everybody walks through my craft room, and I had used these cardboard boxes and just made it the way I wanted it for Christmas, but it's no longer Christmas. So I took apart the boxes, but I didn't want to waste more boxes because, I mean, we have an abundance of boxes, but I wanted to use the same ones I had already had. They were nice and sturdy. I measured out how big the box was, and I cut out the fabric to cover the entire box now. For Christmas, I only covered the front part because it was only going to be out for Christmas, and I wasn't too worried about it. But now I'm hoping these boxes last a little bit longer. So I wanted to wrap the whole thing in fabric, and that was just me measuring and making sure I had the right measurements. I have 4 boxes, and I did 2 boxes the same style and the other 2 the other same style. So you'll see how I did that. I just kind of flip-flopped what I did where I put the canvas. And this is just canvas. You can get it Harbor Freight. You can get it really anywhere, like Home Depot or anything like that. But Harbor Freight always has a really good deal on this canvas. It's just drop cloth for, painters. But it works perfect, and I've done so many projects with it over the years, and I think Harbor Freight's probably the best, at least that I can think of, for price. But you can get it anywhere. And that little yardstick I have there, I got at my thrift haul that I did last week. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I'm going to put it in the description so you can go back to it because it was such a fun day. So after I took off all the remaining old canvas, I put the new canvas pretty much in the same spot. I liked how much canvas is being shown, just a couple inches. You don't have to cover the whole thing because you don't want to waste the canvas if you're going to be covering it with another material, which is what I'm going to do next. So you'll see that. So I don't have perfect edges because it's going to be covered up. And I'm just going around the entire thing, and I'm just hot gluing it. I think that worked fine. I don't, it's just boxes that are down low that nobody but me grabs, so I know how to pull it. But if you're going to do this in like a kid's room, maybe a little bit extra glue on it if the kids are going to be yanking it out for toys and stuff like that. I don't know how strong this would be for toys. You'd probably want to reinforce it a little bit on the bottom. But for what I use it for is just like my paper and some ribbon, so lightweight things. Now it's hard to see, it's not exactly in the camera shot, sorry about that, but I just cut a thick rope and made a little handle, and then I'm going to tape off the edges just to give it a little bit more security. I was going to do it to all of the bins. Like I said, I'm making 4 of them, but it was kind of difficult. Like it was trying to get underneath it, and it was just a little bit extra work than I really wanted to do. So I just decided just to do one of them, and it came out looking so cute, but it doesn't look that bad that the other ones aren't done like that. But if you're going to do this, definitely, add more pulls to it. I think it came out so cute. So this rope I got at Walmart, and I believe it was $4.97, and I got it in the hardware section. And all I'm doing is hot gluing it to the edge, and I'm just going to wrap around and keep going until I get all the way up to the fabric. So I wouldn't say it's difficult gluing the rope underneath it, it was just extra work, and I kind of wanted this to be a quicker project. But it's definitely not hard. It's just wrapping the rope underneath it and pushing down to make sure that, you get all the seams. Because I use that blue tape, and I definitely don't want the blue tape showing, and I left the blue tape for security. So you want to make sure that you have a good hold on that rope and that you're putting it down level, so that way every wrap around comes back straight. Going over the top of the rope was definitely easier, but like I said, it's not hard. It was just that I wanted to have a quicker project than adding that little handle, and it literally was only adding an extra minute or so. But like I said, I wanted a quick project. I wanted to get it done. I have other things to do today. So this is the second box, and like I said, I did a little bit of a flip-flop. So instead of having the cloth at the top of the box, I did the cloth at the bottom of the box. So I measured it out so it could fit the entire box, like wrapping it almost like a present, except for a little bit at the top. That's where I'm going to put the rope. So again, I didn't need to make any straight cuts for this because I'm going to cover it up with rope anyways. And I did pay attention to what I was doing on the corners. I wanted to make sure that where you could see the box facing out, you didn't see any of this corner stuff. So I wanted to make that edge nice and neat. See that? Perfect. And again, I'm going back in with that same rope. I'm trying to keep it uniform, even though they're a different style for two different boxes. I wanted to keep the same rope and the same color scheme. So I'm just doing the same thing I did before, and I'm just wrapping it around. I started on the side because I decided, even though I was going around with the other one and I did the entire box, I used a lot of rope, and no one's going to see it but me, and so I just decided I'm just going to start on the edge this time and just do the front of it. And I think it came out adorable. You can't see that I didn't do all the edges. So if you're going to do one of these that you could see the entire thing, I would definitely wrap it around all the way. But if it's just for, if you can't see the whole thing, then just doing the front portion I think would be fine. And you're going to save money doing that. So here's the third box. Again, I have 4 of them. And this one I did like the previous one where I put the cloth to wrap around the entire thing. and then I'll put the rope on the top. And the rope, I ended up using almost 2 spools of it. So that would be, almost $10. And like I said, I had this canvas from Harbor Freight, and I have so much of it that what I used barely made a dent in it. But you could probably use 1 sheet, the smaller one, and I think you would have plenty to make a couple boxes. And that's it. I think it came out so cute. My goodness. And it definitely ties in with our nautical theme. And if you see up there, the cushion I had made in a previous project, I'll put that in the description too. But I love all these projects. They are so cute for your home or to give away as gifts. I hope you enjoyed Cats, Crafts, and Caffeine. I loved all these projects and my little helpers. I have more videos coming up, so make sure you hit that bell and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're inspired to try some home decor and DIY for your home. I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Freckled Mom. Also, you can read my blog about motherhood, sobriety, fun projects, and delicious recipes at freckledmom.com. See you soon!